Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 146 of the Omnivore Podcast. I hope you're still watching. We are still available on YouTube and Blip for the time being. Don't know how much longer Blip's going to keep me. So I am looking into Podcast Garden. I don't know. I don't have time to deal with tech stuff, so until there's one really definitive, easy thing, your best bet is to assume that it's visible on the blog and that it'll be visible on YouTube. I upload to both places. Because that's how untech savvy I am. I don't burn a feed to stuff and... no. So... I am fighting a headache right now, so if I look like I'm in pain or something, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's a headache. It's actually sinus-based because there's supposed to be a thaw coming. Minus 67 over the weekend, Celsius, in Regina. I'm used to cold. I'm not used to that cold, but that's how cold it was this weekend in Regina. And, yeah, it's thawing. It's going to thaw here. I am not used to having my spring allergies in winter because it thaws so much, so this is a new learning curve for me. My apologies if I sound all... you know what I mean? You know what I mean. That actually just hurt me a little. That warrants a sip of the Tim Hortons in my cup. Which actually has Jack Skellington. He says I don't do mornings. So what do I have for you? I have no finished objects. Unless you consider blanket squares finished objects, in which case I do have finished objects. But that brings us back to whether it's a work in progress or it counts as a finished object. Either way, I don't have a lot to talk about today, so we'll jump right on in. In my seashore sharing bag, I have the finished handspun sock. You saw the toe of the other one. I have gotten a few inches done. A few inches. Ta-da! Very lovely. This is a basic toe-up sock with a short row heel. And by basic, I mean I did the Jenny Judy toe. I've been corrected by so many people. Judy's Magic Cast On and Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off, I think. Don't quote me. Google it, it'll come up. But so I did that toe with 12 stitches on either needle, and then I went up to 60. I did go up to 64 on the first foot, and I found that to be way too big, so I went down to the 60, and I find that to be perfect with the yarn I have spun. It is a little bit thicker than a pure sock weight. Go figure. First time spinning for socks. I'm just glad I got a 3-ply that is that close. That's a personal best. I'm using US 1 2.25 millimeter Haya. Yes, I had to double check. Thank goodness these things are stamped. So just knitting straight until I get to my heel, doing a short row heel, and then continuing up. Voila! Matches my hair right now, actually. Look, we match. And that is, I spun it out of the Gale's Art, her BFL nylon 8515, 6 ounces in the Sherlock colorway. Pretty sure you can still get it in her shop. FYI, love that stuff. 1 second, I just realized I forgot something. Okay, I'm back. Again, I don't know why I say that, considering this is going to be spliced together. But for that jarring second that it takes you from me moving, there you have it. So, the other work in progress these things, they never stay in the ponytail, and, well, they look good face framing. The other things I have finished are some squares, or I've been working on / finish, and I find it entertaining. I think it was Nitty Witty Shell said, you know, you can tell your situation by the fact that you're knitting everything for yeah, I know I'm knitting everything for my husband. Whatever. So I finished some more squares. We're almost at 30. I need 120. Can I do it? Yes, I can. I have 2 baskets, right? I have 2 baskets of yarn ends, scraps from socks. I've saved all my sock scraps, basically, after the first couple socks I made. All of the scraps from then on have been put into a basket, because I figure I will need them for something. Alternating heels and toes, blah, 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 blah. You know, when you don't need a lot of yardage of color B. There are a lot of reasons you may need these yarn scraps. So I keep them, because I am a hoarder. I'm not actually a hoarder, but I'm a yarn hoarder. Whatever. I'm like Fru, I'm a wool pig. It is Fru who's a wool pig, or is it Amy Beth? Either way. That is me. So I have these 2 baskets of yarn ends. So it's not a big issue to do 120. I think I'm gonna, like, halfway through, it's gonna be like, I need to knit socks. So I have more scraps coming in. But, so I will show you the ones I've done. I got this one done. And again, the center ends aren't woven in because I'm lazy right now. And I will probably have, like, a little time where I sit down and, like, weave in all the ends and make them look less nipply. Right now, I'm just powering through to get them done. And because I have immense joy at finishing one, because it's like a finished object. I don't care that it's going towards a blanket and I need 120 of them. It's a finished object. Which makes me very gleeful, given that I have like 3 socks, a scarf, and a sweater languishing in various corners of the house. So there's this one. And this is a Shopple-Vol Zalverball in that 2-ply crazy one. And this is actually the first pair of socks I knit for my husband, and I knit a Cookie A pattern for him. He has since felted and destroyed them. How do you felt superwash wool? I don't know. Ask my husband. So he gets more socks. If he wears them and, like, washes them to the point, and he does, like, he puts them in delicate in the washing machine and then hangs them to dry. It's not like he's, like, hard on them in terms of washing for superwash wool. But if he destroys them to that end, why wouldn't I make him more socks? He likes them. There's this one. I believe I knit a pair of socks for my mother out of the center, which is an opal. And it's just edged with some... It's actually some leftover Vomice in the Ebenholz colorway, which I felt matched okay. So, there you have it. Chances are I will not block these before I seam them together. So that's number 2. Number 3... because he's manly enough, he doesn't give a crap if there's pink and shit in it. This is the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. Blue Moon Socks That Rock. Can't remember if it's a medium or a light. I think it's a medium. It seems a little heavier. I test knit the Lotus socks for Wendy of the Knit One Heart 2 podcast out of this. So there's that one. That's 3. And 4. This is either Fleece Artist or Handmaiden, and this is a really old one. I can't remember for the life of me. I know I knit a pair of socks. I know it came on the band. The pattern came on the ball band. So it's either Fleece Artist or Handmaiden. Whatever. 4. It'll be like a giant memory blanket of all the socks and stuff I've knit. Some of these are from shawls. Knew I'd get there. This is the 3 U's Twisted in Fiber Bananarama on their bamboo, on the bamboo and stuff base. Forget what it is, bamboo and something. They are no longer dying, but half of them went on to be Hiawassee Creek. So there's that one. What is that, 4? Let's see, 1, 2, 4. No, that's 5. 5. So this is 6. Socks That Rock again. I believe this one is lightweight. It is in the skein that has no name. So this one really rolls into itself. It's really hard to stretch out and get to see. There you go. This was the skein that has no name. I'm not sure if they gave it a name. It was from when I was in the club. So it's 6, 7. Sheena is a fiber nymph. Forget what bait this is on. I still have one of the socks I knit out of this. Bebop ate the other one, but I have one of them. I know that's a while back now. But that was back when you could get fiber nymph easily. And lastly, this is the witch one. Oh, what is it? Witchy Woman. Witchy Woman by Vesper. And yeah, I made a pair of socks out of these. And I made them when I was visiting my husband on one of my many visits to see him prior to our engagement. So that's how many I have done now. We're almost at 30. I need 120. So 30 is like, what, a quarter of the way? I'm almost a quarter of the way. My intention is to seam them all together and then knit a little border, probably in black, because that's how I roll. That is how I roll. So, spinning. I have a little, teeny bit. Ta-da! And actually, I haven't put it on the Nitty Naughty yet, because again, I've been suffering with some serious head trauma. Not like I banged my head, but serious as in, I have a lot of pain going on up here. And it does make it a little hard to focus on things. It takes me a little longer to do things, and some things I just give up on. But this is plied now, and it is the Bath and Puni from the SSK tasting room, combined with, that's the colorful stuff. The white stuff is 25 grams of soy silk and 25 grams of soy, 25 grams of bamboo, and I didn't use all of the soy, so probably closer to 35 to 40 grams of the soy boo, the soy and bamboo, which were from a sampler pack, which is the white. Applied it together to get the yardage, and I've come to the conclusion that I do not underline this like spinning just bamboo or just soy. Too slippery, too annoying, too clinging to everything. It's really staticky here. I don't know why. I live in the bloody land of lakes, or that's Wisconsin. I live in the 10,000 lakes or whatever they put on your license plate. Why is it so staticky and dry here? In the summertime, it's so humid you can barely, like, you get used to being full of sweat because it's just humidity clinging to your body. But in the wintertime, it's so bloody dry that the yarn just statics itself to you. So, too dry to be spinning that stuff. Secondly, I just don't like it. It's too slippery. It's not. I need something with a little bit of grab. I like the sheen. I love how it looked. I loved it so much that I finished it. And it looks really cool. And I can't wait to knit it. I think it needs to be knit into something from a lethal pattern. It's my own personal understanding. I can see where I underplied in some spots. Whatever. Washed and thwacked. It will poof because, of course, I have no idea what was in the bat, but I imagine a lot of it is yarn, wool yarn. A lot of it is yarn wool. I learned to speak yesterday. A lot of it is sheep fiber, so that will bloom a little bit, which will make it look all nicer. But still loving it. It was a really quick and dirty spin on both ends. Makes me want to spin more, just saying. If I could sit my ass down in a chair and spin all day, I would. But then you'd never get yarn out of me ever again. Needlepoint took a side track in that for Valentine's Day, my husband made a request. He saw this on Amazon, and he said, "You should make that for me. And then I can take it with me." Now, let's not get into the logistics of taking a framed piece of art across the seas. Let us just go with, he wanted it so much that he actually asked me to do it. So I bought it for Valentine's Day, and I said I would make it for him. And it is this. Pardon the glare. Here, let me take this out. If I take it out of the shiny casing, which really is doing nothing except for, keeping it held onto the board. It is a Janlin counted cross stitch. There we go. It's a wolf in the Northern Lights with a pair of wolves at the bottom. It's very pretty. Anybody who needlepoints knows that I love him because there's a French knot, a half quarter, a full quarter, single, and then there's 1, 2, and 3 ply in this. Which sounds like a bunch of jargon that no one knows about or cares about. That just means that there's a lot more than just a simple, you put 2 strands into the needle and you just keep going and making X's. That, and there's like 8 shades of white-gray. Having said that, I put it on because I bought the bigger Q-snap, I can use the smaller Q-snap. And that would be the right way. So I started it. Doesn't look like much, does it? There are 4 colors in here. There are 4 colors. You can kind of tell, but to the naked eye, it's hard. It's really hard to my naked eye. But I know where I am in the pattern, and actually, on the picture, I am right there. So it is going to be 11 inches by 4 inches. It may take a while. Having said that, because I had finished February and was waiting on March, it wasn't a big deal. Now March is out for the Once Upon a Time sampler. I'll probably keep working on the wolf for a little bit before I switch over because it looks pretty easy. The next one in the sampler, this one. So I'm going to do this one and then do the whole up here and down the side. The next one is the 3 little pigs. So there you have it. Let's see. The prizes for Snuggles will be drawn next week. As per usual, I will post a spreadsheet link, a Google Docs spreadsheet link on the board so you know what numbers you are, because they will not be based off of the numbers in the threads, just because some people will post more than one snuggle in a picture, and I really don't give a crap if they feel like that. If they feel like doing that, it just means that the numbers are going to be skewed. So do look to the spreadsheet for your whatchamajingles, do remember you have to be a member of the group to win. This past week I did a colorway, and I didn't actually show it on the podcast because it went up and it went out before anyone saw it. It's the Armed Forces colorways. There were 4 tri-stripes based off of the different branches, and before Fru gives me hell, I did look up the National Guard, and their fatigues, because I went off fatigues and combat gear, is exactly the same as the Army's. They're pretty much the same colors, so I couldn't justify doing it. Although 10% of the proceeds of each skein goes to, well, no, 10% of the price of the skein. It's not the proceeds, because then I'd have to do math. But 10% goes to the Wounded Warrior Project, which was at my husband's recommendation. And so I did the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, and the Navy. They're gone. I did them on DK. They are gone. So I will be sending that money to the Wounded Warrior Project. I wasn't anticipating that they would be that popular. I knew they'd be popular. I didn't think it would be that bad. So I will probably do them on sock yarn, because I've been asked to. And eventually, because yeah, all kinds of things going on in the background here. And speaking of all kinds of things going on in the background, tomorrow there will be a mini update. And I say mini update because there's only going to be one thing, well, not one thing, but one. Basically, there's going to be a bunch of these. Ta-da! And what this is it's going to be called a Goblin Pack. These are mini skeins, 25 grams of each. They will be bundled in 4, so you get 100 grams. 100 grams of mini skein stripey goodness. They will all be striping in some way, shape, or form. Be they 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever. I don't do 8s. 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 6, 3, whatever. 6. And so there will be a bunch of these up in the shop. It will be called Goblin Packs. Now, here's the thing. They are all going to be either one-offs or something where I changed the color formula. Where I liked it, but I wanted to do it a little differently for the actual color. However, it doesn't make a shit of difference. And they're perfect for knitting hexapuffs and barn-raising squares or what have you. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just like this one here. There's a blue, a green, and a blue-green. There's a shaded blue, a blue-green, and a blue. It's not showing up here right at all. But that one was a one-off because I decided that I didn't want to continue dyeing that much blue. No biggie. No harm, no foul. This was the trial run for VD again. So, and then I decided I wanted to darken up the central color a little. So there's nothing per se wrong with these. That just happens to be, I decided, and this one was too dark. I wanted the orange lighter. So, mini skeins. They're going up tomorrow at noon. knittersnightmare.com, which is a big cartel site. Ta-da! So it's a mini update of minis. They will be called Goblin Packs. You will get 4 per pack of goblins. This will be series 1. If I do it again, I probably will do. When I do it again, there you go. When I do it again, it will be called series 2. They will all be one of a kinds. Basically, no repeats. Just grab and go. That's my whole idea there. Did you like that long, slow drink? So that's basically all I've been up to. That's basically all I'm going to be up to. Got a lot of warping and a lot of scanning. As always. And I'm getting some fiber in, so there will be fiber updates shortly. If not this weekend, then next week. Keep an eye on the Knitter's Nightmare board if you're trying to score yarn or fiber or anything. That's where I post, and sometimes it will be a day before, sometimes it'll be 2 days before. The mini update post went up yesterday, so everyone would know about it. If you see something you like on Instagram, go check the Knitter's Nightmare board, because that's where I post when the update is, blah blah blah. Anywho, that's basically all I've had to say. This is a short episode. I hope you don't mind. I hope you had a great week. I hope you continue to have a great week. There's a lot of hoping going on here. Wishing and hoping and planning and something. Da 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 da. There you go. That's your ending singing there. So, we'll see y'all next week. Have fun.